Hello and welcome to the Card Deck Creator Series. I'm Ayesha Hilton, and today I'm very excited to have all the way from London in the UK, Alex Vitillo. Welcome, Alex. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. So excited to be here with this deck that you facilitated creating.
It's so great. I can't wait to have some show and tell and see your deck. So have you been wanting to create a deck for a while?
Yes, the answer is, I think, over a year.
Yeah.
And it started by the desire. I work with wealth, abundance creation, and I buy so many decks, angels decks, tarots, all sorts of tarots, the Dennis Lin, the shamanic, Kyle Gray, Radley Valentine, you name it. I have the law of attraction, the motivational, and I have a few decks in abundance, but I couldn't find one that really I felt a connection. I felt it was powerful enough. So I thought, what do we do when we want to work on riches? And it just so happened that I launched a TV show called Rebel into Riches, and it just came to me, and I thought, this is just going to complement your TV show, and it's going to be a whole new line of people wanting to rebel to the norm. And I think there's plenty going on at the moment. And at the same time, really owning their talents, their skill, and looking into spirituality for creating better businesses and to be comfortable with money. So that was the decision. And then there was the practical aspect. That was another hurdle for me because I'm not an artist. And you know, when you create a deck, you really got this vision, but you don't know how to translate this vision. And you reach out to an artist and you're not too sure they're spiritual enough, or they're going to understand the feminine, the goddess. It was very complicated. And after reaching to a few artists, I thought, no, this is not working out for me. What else can I do? And this is when I stumbled upon your course and your material, and I thought, well, this works really well for me. So once I've done that, it took me a bit of a time because I had this hurdle in a sense, but the moment I start creating, I think it was done in a couple of nights. I just sat on my computer and I created the deck. So
Fabulous. So can we have a look at your deck?
We can have a look.
I'm so
it comes
excited.
with this couch, which is minimal chic. And I hope you can see. So there's a serpent at the back.
Beautiful.
And the cards are mainly gold, black.
Oh, they're gorgeous. Oh, I really love them. This is my first time seeing them.
Yes. And the stars are involved, the serpent are involved. They are very, what I say, powerful and not for the fainted heart. But that's what I wanted. I wanted something that was really a bit in your face, triggering you, and at the same time bringing so much abundance and clarity when you work with them daily.
Would you like to pull a card for us today?
Yes, I can pull a card. So I want to say that there are 44 cards and there are 4 suits, and one is the releasing, which people tend not to like because you got to let go of something that's been in your field, you know, for a while, right? And we say it's better the devil we know than the angel we don't know. This is the traditional saying, but I say you got to let go. And then there are some activation cards, and there are some receiving, what I call jolly cards, which is anything could happen to you. So let's see. Which card would we like to? You saw me shuffle. Yeah. I activate riches. I'm worthy and deserving of riches right here, right now. So the thing about this card that I like is it's not riches someday, sometime in the future, is I'm worthy. So when you know you're worthy and you're giving yourself permission, is right here, right now. So everybody that is watching,
I love it. I activate riches.
Activated. Yes.
Beautiful. So you said there's 4 suits: releasing, receiving, activating, and what was the 4th one?
The jolly.
Jolly.
So it could be anything from, yeah, call it the jolly cards. It could be anything from receiving money or investing money. So of course it's an energetic level, right? But it's how much can you open up? And sometimes it's $100 How do you feel about receiving $100 energetically? Sometimes it's $5 million. How do you feel about receiving $5 million? And really, when you are deep into that, you really start to really embody, feel it. And sometimes it's too much. And then when, you bring it back to, okay, where am I comfortable at? And sometimes it's, you got to invest, right? So you've got a card that is, you got to invest $70,000, for instance, and the same, you're like, oh, no, I can't possibly do that. But imagine what could happen to you if you could do that, right? So a card just jumped off.
What card was that?
It was just the Rebel into Riches deck. So it is, I think, a deck you want to work with daily. That's my suggestion. And then see how you get triggered, how you open up. And also, the cards are showing you where you're at. So things are gonna come up. And like I say, some of them might trigger you, like the resentment cards or the jealousy card, or they're in there as well. And you may think, what's resentment got to do with money? Oh, a lot.
Beautiful. So once you started making the cards yourself in Canva, it just seemed to flow.
Yes, because like I said, for me, the hurdle was really the graphic, which again, you sold for me without revealing too much. And so once that part was taken care of, everything else was flowing. So in everything I do, when I do my TV show, when I do my interviews, when I do podcast, I never sit down and prepare. And this is what people say, can you teach me how to free flow like that? It's a state of being, right? And it's also a gift. So the cards were exactly the same. I couldn't plan it. I had to be in the zone, and it just came true.
Well, they're very, very beautiful.
Thank you.
What advice would you give to other people who are creating their decks?
What advice? I would say do it as much yourself if you can, because like I said, if you work with an artist, or if you're an artist and you don't know what words to put and you're hiring somebody, I think there's going to be it's not going to be as strong. So just focus on your strongest suit and then ask the universe, how could I overcome that obstacle? So maybe get some prompts by somebody, but you write it yourself. Maybe, if you're not an artist, then look around for something that still you can choose and you have flexibility to decide, what do I put in my cards? And also don't rush it. I really would say don't rush it. This for me, like I said, was a long process, but now I absolutely love the result. And if I'd rushed it because I said, oh, I gotta do it, it would have been too much pressure, and probably you would have felt that pressure in the card as well. So I don't want that.
Beautiful. And it is interesting because yesterday I was talking to an artist who's creating her own deck, and she was going to get other artists involved, and it gets all complicated, right? And I think my thing is, let's keep it simple, at least for your first deck. Keep it simple. So where did you end up getting your serpent from, or your snake, and some of your other images?
The place you suggested, what was it called?
Oh, Creative Market.
Yes.
I love them. And yeah, so they turned out really well. Hold them up again. You were able to find the nice gold. Yeah, that's beautiful. Did you layer that, or it was one image?
This one was, I think, one image, but each suit has a little one. I don't know if you see that, is different. Beautiful. So some are the stars, some are the moon, and again, I found them there. So there is still an element of creativity, which I like.
Yes, bringing it all together.
Bringing it all together. And of course, if you are an artist, maybe you could have different pictures for every card, and then maybe you have words that are a little bit simpler, right? I picked just this one image in a sense, and a couple more. If I was doing the graphic, I'll probably change the graphic at the back and have something a bit simpler at the front with the words. So you can play with that, and maybe you need one word as opposed to, you know, a whole sentence. So find what's your strength, find somebody like you that can support you, and then go ahead. And I also want to say, without saying names, that I was approached by somebody that was going to do the whole thing for me, and the price were just too much.
How much, can I ask how much it was? I like $5,000.
Yes, it was around the $5,000 mark, but that removes some of the creativity. It removes, I would have just sent the words, but you know, you again, it dilutes the process. And also everybody in the cards industry know it's not a money-making machine, right?
Yeah.
So spending $5,000 for something that it's already a cost seems a bit too much for me. And yes,
and as I always say, unless you Hay House or something like that, and you're just buying so many at once, and then they're just selling. But I mean, I got my Moonology one, I think it was like $10. So there's no money, like they had it on special. But yeah, like most of us, we buy quite a few decks.
Yeah.
And are you going to use the decks in your work with clients, or like gift them to people who buy your high-end program? What's your strategy there?
Yes, so definitely it's going to be a nice gift for the high-end clients. I've also created the 12 days of Christmas, where each day they receive a video with a card, and of course they're going to receive exactly the card that it's, you know, needed at the time. And there's always, even though the videos are short, you know, there's always some magic, I say, when I'm on screen channeling words and channeling a card. It's going to bring that magic of the 12 days of Christmas. So it comes through your inbox, you watch the 3-5 minutes videos, you've got a little bit of soul work to do, it's exciting. And at the end of the 12th day, you're really in a different space, and you think, oh, okay, you know, this year 2022 is going to start a whole different way that if you don't do divination, or you just sit down and write your intention list without any prompts. So I'm very excited. That was the first project that came through the cards.
Well, I must sign up for that, because I'll happily have 12 days of Christmas with you, Alex. And is there anything else you wanted to share about the cards?
You know, I say always, divination is one of my favorite topics, is one of my favorite ways to engage with the universe. And even I had a few people that really reached out to me on Facebook when I showed the cards. They had no idea would have said I like that set of cards. You know, some very traditional, really business-oriented corporate people. So I think it's, in a way, either you're like us, we tend to buy many different decks and we love them all and we always want to explore. And sometimes, even if you're not that person that really communicate with the universe every day, this is a fun way to say, hey, hold on, you know, maybe before a business meeting, let me see what's in store for me. And you feel a little bit as a rebel. You feel like, you know, nobody needs to know. You can carry one in your purse. You can, so it gives you that hedge a little bit of, don't believe in it, but just in case, you know, they look nice, they feel nice. And of course, the crystals, I have my citrine on top, you know, so it's just, it adds so much riches in your life anyway.
I do find that the more I talk to people about card decks, just the fact that they're so accessible to people, like compared to a book, and I love books, like you probably do, but there's something sort of more fun and playful and accessible with the deck of cards.
Yes, and even, you know, so my children have cards, the children-oriented one, you know, the angels, and it's a very good way as well to spend, if you have young children, 3 minutes a day saying, oh, let's pick a card. Oh, you need to do your homework. You know, it doesn't say you need to do your homework, but it says something along the line, if you struggle in your homework, as the angels say, oh, how are you doing at school? And, oh, you know, it's a way of probing as well. Or are you feeling bullied by somebody? The angels can stand by your side, or the power animals. So it's a lot more fun than me saying, you can call on your power animals and this is how you do it. And and we need 15 minutes to call on the power animals, as opposed to, hey, the tiger showed up today. Fantastic. So there is so much playfulness and so much space to really, you can take it just, oh, my tiger showed up, or I feel so much secure, and I'm gonna really, there's so many layers, whatever age you are, whatever religion background, spiritual, non-spiritual, believer, non-believer, there's always some. I mean, Brendan Bouchard did a deck of cards, for Christ's sake. So
I actually didn't know Brendan did a card deck.
it did. It's called Motivational Cards. So again, if you're coaching, it's a very good card to, if you're coaching, let's say business, traditional business way, it's a very good way to just introduce a topic.
Yes,
yeah.
I love it. And I know my 9-year-old son, he just loves picking a card and then reading it and looking at it. So
yeah, so much magic for them. So definitely it's something that I think every mom and dad should have like around.
And I know we do have one of our fellow creators does have a card deck for children that I just saw it on Instagram before, and it was so cute. So
beautiful, beautiful.
Well, thank you.
The one tip I don't have, and maybe you could tell me, is how to photograph them neatly so they look yummy on Instagram, for instance. Do you have any tip?
I think it's all about lighting and the setting, really. I should actually do a course on that, the product photography. And I like them, say, like, see your background, you've got those flowers, like having them with something else. So, and often you need, like, the rule of thumb for, I did a whole course on Skillshare, like as a student, on product photography for my tea business. And it's like you need an odd number, and 3 is good. So say you had like a vase of flowers, a candle, and the deck, something like that. So and just have a look at like the card deck people that you like on Instagram or something, just see what they're doing. And they're often quite simple. They might have a white background and then the cards, laid nicely. So yeah, that's a really good question, actually, because the product photography makes a difference, right?
It does. It does. Yeah, for sure.
All right. You give me a good idea. Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time. Can you just share with us your website, and people can then find your socials and everything from there?
Sure. So my website is breathing heart, like breath and the heart.co.uk. And I have to say, if you like a deck of cards, you're gonna send me an email the traditional way and let me know you'd like a card, because at the moment they're not officially on print, and like I said, they are a sort of reward for high-end clients. And the 12 days of Christmas, of course, is online, but then if people want to purchase their own deck, they can get in touch and that could be arranged.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for your time, Alex. I love your deck. Congratulations. They're so beautiful. And yeah, I want to sign up for 12 days of Christmas. So if you're watching this and it's before Christmas 2021, please go to Alex's site, breathingheart.co.uk, to sign up for her 12 days of Christmas. And we could all use some more abundance and some more money for this.
Always. Thank you, Ayesha. Thank you so much.
I hope you enjoyed that. Wasn't it interesting? And I hope you got some inspiration and some tips from listening to this. So if you're interested in making your own card deck, I invite you to check out the Card Deck Creators Toolkit that I've created for people like you who want to create their own inspirational, affirmation, or oracle card deck. There's so many different card decks that you can create. So I invite you to check out the links below to get the toolkit and get on your way creating. And if you've already created your own card deck, congratulations. Share a link below. I'd love to see it. Much love to you and take care.